Welcome to the Explainer. So, let me ask you this. Have you ever dreamed of studying in Japan? If the answer is yes, then you need to stick around, because we're about to break down the MEXT Scholarship, a program that could literally fund your entire academic journey in the land of the rising sun.
So just how big of an opportunity are we talking about here? Well, get this. Every single year, Japan's Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology, let's just call it MEXT, offers more than 4,000 fully funded scholarships to international students. No, that's not a typo. Over 4,000 students get to kickstart their academic dream in Japan with everything paid for.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to walk through this step by step. First, what makes this scholarship so awesome? Then we'll see if you qualify. After that, we'll look at how to apply, what documents you need, and finally, what the whole selection process actually looks like.
All right, so what's the big deal with this MEXT scholarship anyway? Why does everyone talk about it? Well, it's not just about getting your tuition covered. This program is designed to give you complete, total support for your entire time studying in Japan.
And when I say total support, I really mean it. Your tuition, 100% paid for. You also get a pretty generous monthly stipend to cover your rent, food, life stuff. They fly you there and back with round-trip airfare, they sort you out with housing, and even cover your health insurance. And maybe the best part? It costs you absolutely nothing to apply. This just wipes out almost every financial hurdle you can think of.
And this opportunity isn't just for, say, PhD students. Nope. The MEXT scholarship is available for all the major academic levels. So whether you're looking to get your bachelor's degree, your master's, or go all the way for a doctorate, you're covered.
Sounds incredible, right? I know. But before we get carried away planning your life in Tokyo, let's pump the brakes for a second and tackle the most important step, making sure you're actually eligible to apply.
So before you even think about downloading a single form, you've got to ask yourself a few key questions about your background, your age, your education, and where you're from. Let's find out if you're a good fit.
Okay, let's break this down. For a bachelor's degree, you've got to be between 17 and 25. If you're going for a master's or PhD, you need to be under 35. You also need the right number of years of education under your belt, a solid academic record, and, this is important, you have to be a citizen of a country that has diplomatic ties with Japan. Easiest way to check that last one, if there's a Japanese embassy in your country, you're pretty much good to go.
All right, pay close attention because this next part is a really critical decision. There are basically two different roads you can take to apply for the scholarship, and your choice here makes a huge difference.
So you've got two main options. The first is called the embassy track, where you apply for everything, the scholarship and university admission, all at once through the Japanese embassy in your home country. The second is the university track. That's where you have to do the legwork yourself, get accepted into a Japanese university first, and then ask that university to recommend you for the scholarship. You can probably see why the embassy track is a lot more straightforward.
And look, don't just take my word for it. The advice from people who've actually gone through this process is overwhelmingly clear. For most applicants, the embassy track is hands down the best, most direct path to take.
Okay, so you've made the smart choice and you're going with the embassy track. Awesome. Now it's time to roll up our sleeves and get all your paperwork together. Let's take a look at what you need in your application toolkit.
So what exactly do you need to pull together for this application? It really boils down to two main categories of documents.
Think of it like this. You've got two piles of paper. The first pile is all your stuff, your personal academic records. We're talking attested degrees, transcripts, recommendation letters. The second pile is the official MEXT stuff, the forms you have to download from the embassy website and fill out, like the main application form, and if you're a grad student, your research plan.
All right, you've done the hard work. You've gathered every document, checked it twice, and mailed it off. You can finally breathe, but just for a second. Your part is done for now, but the selection process is just getting started. Let's see what happens behind the scenes.
It's basically a funnel, right? It starts with everyone who applied. First, they screen all the documents you sent in. If your application makes the cut, you get invited to the embassy for a written exam. Pass the exam, and you move on to an in-person interview. And if you nail that, the next step is getting that final notification. Now, about that written exam, here's the secret weapon. You do not have to go into this blind. The official Study in Japan website, and usually your local embassy's site too, they post past exam papers. This is an absolutely priceless resource. You can practice, get a feel for the questions, and walk in there fully prepared.
So there you have it, a fully funded world-class education with thousands of spots up for grabs every single year.
The path is laid out and the opportunity is just massive. The MEXT scholarship isn't just a way to pay for university, it's a chance to completely reshape your future. So the only question left is, are you ready to write your own story in Japan?